we'll get started. My name is Jzavion McGowan. I'm the wide receivers coach, co-OC, pass game coordinator at Siena Heights University. I'm just going to talk to you guys today about building Zone 6, building this group wide receivers that I've had for the last 3 years, taking them from what we were before, which was a extremely run-heavy kind of offense, to us throwing the ball around, putting up some numbers, breaking some records. How we got to that point, some drills that I use on a day-to-day basis as well. So we'll kind of talk about all that. Kind of getting into who we are as a unit. So through the last 2 years, so the last 20 games, we have more receptions, more yards, more touchdowns, more all-conference guys, more school records than the previous 4 years combined. And we kind of hang our hat on that as well. I think on top of that, we have one of the best blocking group of receivers that I've ever been around. I think one of the best blocking group of receivers in the conference, if not the entire NAIA. If you don't block, you don't get the rock. That's kind of our motto in the room. So for the last 2 years, we've had 3 all-conference guys. We've been a top wide receiver group in the country. In 2023, we had the best 2-season run in program history as far as receiving goes. We have the top wide receiver in school history. He played for me 2 years ago. And then we have a top 3 highest yards per catch and yards per game season average guy. He's going to be returning this year as well. So a lot of the stuff that we do on a day-to-day basis comes to light on Saturdays when we're putting these numbers on the board, and it's something that these guys can be really proud of. So the biggest thing for my group is Ubuntu. It is a African proverb meaning I am who I am because who we all are. So, you're only as strong as your weakest link, and each person in our room has to pull some type of weight. All right, you may not be a 60 snap a game guy, but you may be the best scout guy that we have each week, right? Or you may be the best signaler, or you may be the best board guy, but you have some type of purpose. And I want to make sure every guy feels like they have some type of purpose within the group. So that's why I put in this proverb. How you play without the football determines how much you love your teammates. Stole that one from Brendan Marion over at Sac State. I think it's a big thing for us, specifically being receivers, that you're going to play without the ball a lot. You're not going to get the ball every time that you're on the field. Every snap of the game, you're not going to touch the ball. You may go an entire half. You may go an entire 3 quarters without touching the ball. So how are you going to play during that time? Are you going to block? Are you going to line up correctly? Are you going to show the same type of energy that other guys show when you're not getting the ball? So that's the biggest thing that I want to push to these guys, is how you play without the football determines how much you love your teammates. We watch on film after every practice, every game. I'm looking at the sideline. Are you jumping up and down when people score? Are you happy that you got a big block to help spring a run? Are you happy for your teammates? I don't want you to just be happy for yourself. I want you to be happy for your teammates. And I look at the sideline. I scour the film for that so I can show people during meetings, hey, look at this guy. He hasn't had a snap all week, hasn't had a snap all season. He's just as happy, if not more happy, than the person that just scored. That's what I want to see within these guys. I want these guys to control what they can control. That's your effort, attitude, toughness. We teach EAT. So that's what you can control. You can't control your depth chart. You can't control how many balls you get, but you can control your effort. You can control your attitude. And on top of that, you can control your toughness. Football hurts. It's going to hurt. Are you willing to push through the pain to get to where you want to be at? So our standards. Again, you're going to see how you play without the football determines how much you love your teammates. Big thing within our room. These are kind of the metrics that I look at. Catching is a performance metric. Blocking is a pride metric. You're not going to get stats for blocking, but I can see how much that you like to block, how much you love your teammates, how much you want to win by blocking. I can also tell how you were raised. I can tell where you're from, the tenacity that you have. Are you soft? Are you not soft? By blocking. That's a pride thing. Your stance and start, that's your platform. That's where you're going to start at every single time. If you have a terrible stance and a terrible start, the rest of the play doesn't matter. It's not going to even get to that point. If your platform is bad, if your foundation is bad, everything else on top of that is not going to matter. Your release is going to provide you something. All right, your release is going to provide you something. Am I going to get out quick? Am I going to get out slow? Am I going to slow play it because of the DB? That's going to provide you something. So if you don't get a good release, it's going to be hard to get to the top of your route. Your route running is a precision metric. How good are you at adjusting? How good are you at finding windows? How good are you at breaking the defender off, making every route look the same until it doesn't? That's a precision metric. Ball security, we've had, and I can, knock on wood when I say this, we've had zero fumbles in the 3 years that I've been with the receivers. We take very, 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 very high pride in protecting the football. You're going to have to protect the football always, 2 hands on. As soon as I catch the ball, somebody's around, I'm going to cradle that wrist. That's a protection thing. We have to secure the ball. We're not going to get the ball a lot, or we may not get the ball a lot. So when we do get it, we got to protect it like our life depends on it. Running after the catch, that's your passion. All right, we can't just settle. And when I came in, they were good with catching the ball. They were happy if they caught the ball and they fell down at 10 yards and that was it. I don't want us to be like that. I want us to make plays. It's our job to be playmakers. So we got to run after the catch. That's a passion thing. I may have had to break this guy off. I'm tired. I just caught the ball in traffic. What are you going to do afterwards? Are we going to make a play on it, or are we just going to settle and be happy with 10 yards? I don't want to be happy with anything. I want to go score. I want to make plays. If I only get this ball one time a game, I want to go make plays. All right, so that's a passion thing. Playing without the football, that's a big thing. I relate this to basketball. A lot of the stuff that we do as receivers, I want to relate to basketball. So we got to do layups and dunks. We can't dunk every time we're down there. I don't expect you to dunk every single time. I don't expect for you to windmill it every single time. But if we can have easy layups, we're going to make 10-yard gains. We're going to have 15-yard gains. We're going to have 6-yard perimeter gains. That's okay. So that when we do have to dunk it, when we do throw the ball down the field, we're going to make those plays as well. But we have to set it up with layups. We always can't dunk the whole time. If you try to dunk every time at the rim, you're not going to make it all the time. But if we take those easy layups and we're okay with those easy layups, the dunks will come. We have to dominate on the perimeter. Your offensive line is going to dominate at the line of scrimmage. We have to take it upon ourselves to dominate on the line on the perimeter, whether that be blocking out there, which is a big part of it, whether that be making plays on the perimeter. It is our job to do our 1/11th or our 3/11th or our 4/11th if we got 4 guys out there to dominate on the perimeter. Every single time we have to dominate. Touching back on ball security. We want 100% ball security at all times. At all times. We are the insurance policy for the offense. This is a big thing here. We are the insurance policy. We're not always going to be relied on, but when we are relied on, we have to show up. We have to show up. You don't always use your home insurance, but when you need it, it's always good to have it there, and that's what we are. We must win at 3 points: the release point, the break point, the catch point. You have to win at all 3 of these. If we don't win at all 3 of those, it doesn't matter. We can't win at 1 of them. We can't win at 2 of them. We got to win at all 3. Your release point, get off the line. Your break point, every route has a break point. And then your catch point. You have to win at all 3. In order to be successful, especially at the collegiate level, you have to win at all 3. Dog mentality. Love this here. We're going to win all of our matchups. We're going to win all jump balls. I don't believe in 50-50 balls. I hate that terminology. It's either a touchdown for us or a big gain. The DB's not going to touch the ball. I don't like 50-50 balls. If they throw the ball up to us, it's ours. It's ours. We're going to come down with it 100% of the time. I don't care whether you score, but it's going to be a big gain. It's either a touchdown or a big gain. If you want to take that as a 50-50, that's what it is. If we're going to 50-50 it, it's either a touchdown or a big gain. It's not 50% ours and 50% the DB's. It will never be that. We have to come to the line with a plan. We got to be proactive. We know where we want to go. The DBs don't know where we want to go, so we have to be proactive in that. You got to anticipate his potential movements. Is he lined up outside? Is he lined up inside? Where could potentially he be rolling to? You got to think of that, but you know where you want to go. So you have to come to the line with a plan. We've got to be physical. Like I said before, you will block in the run game or you will not play. Forget getting the ball. If you don't want to block at all, you're not going to play. You can sit by me on the sideline and we can call plays together. But you will not play for me if you will not block. We have to take pride in being physical, and we have to take pride in blocking. Confidence. Biggest thing I like to press on these guys is you are the best player on the field. You need to play and you need to act like it. And one drop or one bad route, that's not going to deter you from who you are. Life's going to throw things at you that you're not ready for, that you don't like. But you got to rise above that. You got to know who you are deep down and continue to play well. And that's the biggest thing that I like to press on them on a day-to-day basis is confidence, believing in yourself, and being able to go make those plays. Having some swagger. Receivers got, we have to have that pep in our step. We have to have fun. We got to be original. We, especially in our offense, bring that swagger to the offense. If we don't bring it, we're not going to have it. So we need to bring that on a day-to-day basis. That's not just your accessories. That's the way that you carry yourself. That's having that pep in your step. That's jumping around. That's having fun. That's dancing. That's celebrating. That's what we need to bring to the offense on a day-to-day basis. That's what we need to bring to the team on a day-to-day basis. And then big-time players make big-time plays in big games. That kind of goes without saying, and that's not something that really needs to be explained. What's understood doesn't need to be explained, and that's one of those things. On the field, how are we going to act on the field? We're going to run to and through every single drill. If you're on the field, we're not walking at all. All right. If you walk, that to me is a loaf. We'll go run the hill after practice as an entire unit because, like I said before, we're only as strong as our weakest link. So if one person feels like walking, then guess what? We're all going to start running on a hill. Okay. We're going to run on and off the field. If you want a sideline, that's cool. Take your time, get water, walk around, stretch, do your thing. But when we're on the field, we're going to run all the time. If you're getting off the field, you know you're going to walk on the sideline. There is no need to walk on the field. We will run off the field as well. We do mass line changes like they do in hockey. So if you are running deep routes and you need to get off the field, I'm bringing somebody else on, I need you to run off the field. I need you to get off as fast as possible so that we can move with some tempo. We're going to have a positive energy towards teammates and coaches. It's an emotional game. I get emotional as a coach. They get emotional as players. But you need to respect the teammates. You need to respect your coaches at all times. We're going to go to war with each other. It's okay to be competitive, but you got to be competitive in a mindset that, hey, it's all love at the end of the day. I'm not going to be disrespectful towards you. And we just got to kind of build that camaraderie. We got to have energy on a day-to-day basis. When you or your teammates make big plays, we got to celebrate. Let's run down the field. Let's jump up and down. We got a little dance in our room. They like to call themselves belt gang, so we got the little dance that we do. Bon voyage. We throw the ball down the field. It's kind of a thing within our group, within the offense, that we celebrate when we make big plays. So that's the big thing for them, is to celebrate, have fun. This game is not promised to anybody, so have fun when you're out there. Again, we bring that swagger and explosion to the offense. We need that. We have to set the tone or help set the tone of this, and we have to move as one. All receivers, when we line up, when we do things, we should look like we're one person. Right? We should do everything as one unit, and that's going to help us move forward as far as bringing the offense along with it as well. Off the field, this football thing, like I just said, isn't guaranteed. No disciplinary issues. Just don't do stupid things. Right? That goes without being said. Don't do stupid things. You're going to be students first. This football thing ends for everybody, regardless of if you like it or not, regardless if you go to the league or not. You're going to sit in the first two rows of all classes. Your GPA is going to be a 3.0 or higher. Most internships, we do internships here at Siena, they're not going to admit you with a GPA that's lower than a 2.8. So let's just get the 3.0 so that we set ourselves on a good playing field in a comfortable position so that you can participate in that opportunity. That might be an opportunity that helps you propel you for the rest of your life. Let's put the work in now so that we're setting ourselves up to have that opportunity. I can say that in the last 3 years, we've had 0 guys that are ineligible. The GPA has improved from it was a 2.2 when I came in, all the way to a 2.8 is kind of our average, which for 21 guys in a room is pretty good, I would say. So we've helped improve that. We do weekly meetings. You got to send me your grades. If your grades are too low, you're not going to practice. During that practice time, you're going to sit inside and do your work. We're going to find different things for you to do to help you improve those grades. But that's a big thing. If you can't learn in the classroom, you don't put the time in the classroom, you're not going to learn, and you're not going to put the time in on the field. And I'm going to make sure that if you think that you can just come here and play, because we're not doing that. And you're going to be a positive representation off the field of not only the school but of the program as well, and of Zone 6. You're going to present yourself in a positive light. We're going to help people out. We're going to do fundraisers. We're going to go help move things around campus. We're going to do different things to keep you involved, so that you never know. It's all about networking. You never know who you may help that could help you in the future. So that's the big thing for them as well. Practice and meetings. I got a 15-minute rule on things. You need to be 15 minutes early, and this says to all football-related activities. That's just to life in general. 15 minutes early. If I'm interviewing and person B is interviewing, we have the same exact resume, we interview the exact same, but I showed up 15 minutes earlier than him, they're probably going to take me. Shows that I'm involved, shows that I want to be there. So we arrive early, 15 minutes early to everything. It started initially when I came in, just football stuff, and then I push it off to everything else. Class, if you can make it in time. If you got a date with somebody, show up early. Everything is 15 minutes early. It just shows that you want to be there. If you're working with a trainer, things like that, get that done before that 15-minute time. Okay. Absences. If you miss a practice without, telling myself, Coach Morton, who's my assistant, who's amazing, wouldn't be able to do this without him, or our head coach, there will be some type of issue. Okay, you're not going to get team reps. You may not practice at all. It depends on the reoccurrence of this or the reason why. Obviously, if you have internships, special circumstances, emergencies, things like that, obviously 100%. But you have to show up. And being injured is not a approved reason to miss practice. Our all-conference receiver from last year, he broke his finger 2 minutes into spring practice this year, and he showed up every day. He was spotting the ball. He was involved. He's running around. He's helping at practice. He's doing things still as he's injured, and that's the perfect example of what I want to show for these guys. Meeting attire, we're not wearing hats, do-rags, beanies, hoods, nothing in the meeting. Act professional in the meeting, just like as if this was an interview. No phones in the meeting, and then you're going to wear Siena Heights gear and or colors only. They get enough stuff to be able to, and you get your clothes cleaned so that you guys can wear these things on a day-to-day basis, and that's what I want them to do. I don't want tie-dye color. I want us to look all the same, all right? I want us to look the same in the meetings on the field. Do whatever you want. Have the green mouth guards, have the neon cleats. I like that. I think it's cool, but during the meeting, let's act professional. Let's do what we got to do in the meeting. These were our unit goals this spring. I wanted, so for each individual practice, so this is for one practice here, I wanted 0 drops for the entire unit, perfect alignment on every single play, correct assignments on every single play, running to and through the drill like we talked about earlier, 0 TNTs. TNTs or takes no talent is things that are alignment, assignment, technique that takes no talent. That's what I want, 0 TNTs. Okay, 0 TNTs. We have a TNT sign on the top of our hill. If you do mess up on something that takes no time, this isn't a physical thing. This isn't a drop ball. This isn't a missed block. This isn't things like that. It's if I lined up incorrectly, if I ran the wrong route, if I went to the wrong guy to block, you're going to get out of that drill. You're going to go touch that TNT sign, and then you're going to come back. So these were our practice goals for this spring. Assignment, alignment, that's a big thing for us. In meetings, I wanted them to understand why. The why in every single thing that we do. I like them to ask questions. That's what I want to bring out of them. But I need you guys to understand the why we want to do this. Why are we going to the second window? Why are we blocking this guy? Why do I want to take a bigger stem on this? Why am I in this position on this play? I want them to understand that so they can teach it back to me. That comes to my next point, full participation in meetings. You're going to draw on the board. You're going to get up in front of the board and you're in front of the class on the board and you're going to teach me and the rest of the players what this play is. Draw this play up for me. Explain it to me. I've never played football before. Explain to me what I'm supposed to do. What should I do if you're going to go out there and teach me how to do this? That's going to help them grasp the entire playbook a lot better. I went from kind of running these meetings to a point of me drawing everything up and asking them if they have questions and things like that. I didn't like how slow we were at learning the playbook, so I wanted to introduce something different. So what I did was start having them run meetings. I will start the meeting. From here on out, I'll give you, kind of direction in the middle of the meetings, but you're going to run the meetings. You're going to teach everything. You're going to do this. You're going to do that so that we learn and are able to teach and draw this entire playbook front and back. Academics, speaking kind of back again from the couple slides ago, I wanted our unit GPA to be 3.0 or above. We aren't at that level right now. We still have a couple weeks left of classes, so we'll see kind of where we're at. Everyone's going to excel in the classroom, which they are well on the way of that. Nobody's going to miss study table or academic meetings, which we have not done that, so that's great. All right, that's great for us. So getting into the good stuff, that was all the setting the table for the room, how I like to operate on, inside the room and to keep a steady presence inside that room. Now we're going to do all the fun stuff. So our stance and start, we had a lot of false stepping when I came in. Biggest thing that I wanted to do is take away that false step so we don't have any missing time, any slow play at the line. So this is a perfect example. Both these guys, Michael Thomas and Diggs, as far as how we want to line up. So I want a lot of weight on my front foot so that I don't false step. So I'm 80-20. What does 80-20 look like? Because a lot of people ask me that. I want to be able to, if I was to push you forward, you're going to fall forward on that front foot. That's what I want to do. If you're standing 50-50, you're standing 30-70, and I push you forward, you're probably not going to fall forward on that front foot. So I want to be able to push you forward, and you're going to roll off that front foot, roll off that outside pinky toe, and get into your route. So this is how I want it to be. I'm not a big guy on having our hands up in a boxing position. I think that we're quick enough to be able to get our hands up and fight on it. I just don't like crossed arms. I do not do the crossed arms thing. I'm okay if you rest your hands on top of each other like we have here. That's okay to me. I just don't want crossed arms so that I have to undo my crossed arms and bring them up. If I'm just hand over hand, I can just get up and I can kind of get into my fighting stance if I have to do that. So we do stance and start every single day. I'm very critical on their stance and start. It seems redundant. It may seem dumb at times, but it is a big thing that we've noticed is an issue later on if we don't do it. So your releases and your steps, this is the first thing after our stance and start that is going to set you up for failure, okay? So we practice all of these every single day, and I want them to build a tool. I'm going to give them all these tool belts. I want them to put things in the correct spot for them to have to use them. I may not have, if I'm a smaller guy, I may not bully release this guy. I may not cage release this guy because I'm not big enough to do that. But I'm going to teach you how to in case for some reason at some point you need to use it. So I want to build their tool belt full of all of these and then let them pick and choose which ones they want to use at the correct time. So all routes are vertical until they aren't. So we have to treat our releases like that as well. So we got speed releases. So we just want to get outside that cornerback's tee. If he was to put his arms out in the tee, we want to get around that. It is the towel drill, the dip and rip, the find all the, reduce surface area and everything like that. So that's your speed release. We can foot fire it. We do a lot of these in the red zone. If we want to, set the guy up, or we're reading it, we're RPOing something, we need to set him up quick, we'll just foot fire it. Avoid getting struck with both hands. We want to reduce our surface area of our shoulders, and then we'll get into our route. We'll freeze release them. I'm not a super big proponent of hesitation releases or freeze releases, but I do teach them it just in case they need to. I have certain guys that are fast enough to hesitate release or freeze release and get back into the route at full speed. Certain guys aren't very good at that, getting back up to top speed, and that's okay. Maybe this release isn't for them, but we hesitate to see the corner's first movement. Is he jabbing with his inside arm, outside arm? Is he stepping outside? Is he stepping inside? And we can kind of determine from there. Cage release, or our bully release, our Michael Irvin release. That's just getting into them. I got a couple guys that are big dudes, 6'5", 6'3", 200 plus pounds. They can do these, right? We'll play corners that are smaller. They can do these, and they may do these at the top of the route. They may do these at the initial first level release. They may do these at their second level release, but they can do that depending on where we're at, just because they're bigger guys. You got a burst release, spray release. So bursting, you're starting outside, working in. You're going to lose two, so like a cover two or a flat defender. Your spray release, you're going to flip it. You're going to start inside, work out. So you're going to gain two. You're going to gain that cover two or flat defender, depending on what the route is. We do a lot of burst and spray releases as well. None of these releases are going to matter if you don't get these basic steps down. And we do our basic steps in our EDDs every single day. So we do EDDs 15 minutes prior to every single practice. That's our 15-minute early thing. And it starts out with basic steps, your progression steps. So your A step, which is your single jab, your B step, which is your double jab, your C step, which is your triple jab. C steps are a little harder, but all we got to do, in the easiest way that I teach them, is to think crossing over. So you watch AI, you watch Kyrie, you watch Steph. Anybody that's good at crossing over, they step into the defender. I want to step into the defender. I want to create some type of stress on the DB. So I got to step into him. If I step horizontal, it's not going to do anything. If I'm stepping horizontal and I'm the DB, I can just sit on the route. I can sit there. We're not going anywhere. You're staying right at the line. But if I step into the DB, he's got to respect that. So each step, the single step, the A step, I got to step into him. The B step, I should be stepping into him. The C step, I should be stepping into him even more, to the point that I'm creating space, I'm gaining ground, I'm gaining depth into my route with these basic progression steps. So we want to think crossover when we're doing these steps as well. All right, and we'll show you some clips here, these progression steps. So we got C steps on this first one here. So we want to watch their feet here. We want to watch his feet. He does really good with his shoulders on dipping his space, dipping and ripping with the C step as well, because we do want to reduce that surface area when we do it. But we can watch their feet here. We want to gain some type of ground. So we're starting on this line here. I would like them, by the time they get out of their C-step, to be here. This is about 3 yards down the field. If we can C-step 3 yards down the field, that's great. All right, we can get in some space. We're not going horizontal. We're going vertical. So let's see what we're doing here. So 1, C, A step there, B step there, C step there. So this is our third foot. We started back here. We're gaining some type of ground. I would like it to be a little more, but I don't want us to overextend to the point that we're uneven or our feet are too wide. So it kind of just depends on your foot length or your leg length and your height and everything like that. And then we're getting out. All right. So not a bad one. He did really good with the shoulders there. So we can go back and look at this. A, B, C. Now, he didn't create a lot of depth. Not a whole lot of depth here. We're probably a yard off the line. He's probably a yard off the line. So we didn't create a lot of space on it. What I like that he does here, or we can watch his shoulders on this. He's reducing surface area, only giving the DB the shoulder to kind of lean on or push on instead of giving him his entire chest. So I like the finish of this drill. I don't like the depth that was created because there wasn't a whole lot of depth, but we are reducing surface area, which is a good sign as well. This next one's going to be an A-step. Next one's going to be an A-step, so it's one jab. It should be a hard jab and out. Should be a hard jab and out. So we'll see here. I like this. So we got one step, good. Eyes are in that direction as well, knowing that I'm going to cut back with it as well. Eyes are in that direction. That's a good thing. Now we can twist our body back around and get out. Twist our body back around and get out. So we can watch these through. These are our progression steps. So we'll go A step first, B step, and then C step. Get their feet loose, get us used to reducing surface area, gaining some depth on it as well. And we'll get into our next thing. All right. Split releases. So we're going to practice split releases next. This is part of all of our same progression here. So they're going to get two commands. So two whistles. First whistle, I want them to get into a split release stance. Not too wide, not too narrow, just shoulder width. Just shoulder width. Almost like I'm in a three-point stance if we're talking basketball. So we'll do it here. Split release. So now we're split. Okay. Maybe a little tight. This is pretty good here. Pretty good here. Maybe a little tight. Next thing off of it is I want us to reduce the surface area. Reduce the surface area. And get around and replace this guy's feet. Super tight to him. Replace his feet. Almost like I'm running off of a pick. Almost like I'm running off of a pick. Very good job there to reduce that surface area. It's exactly what we wanted. We're in a step, rip through, and we can see we're here. If the DB is trying to touch me, he only has this shoulder here. And then I want to replace right where he was stepping at, stack back on top. That's going to get with our stack and stem, just so we can get right back in our same spot. So we'll go through this full speed. Reduce surface area, and we're there. And we're finishing on the ball. This guy here is one of our all-conference guys, so he's going to come out of these breaks. Looking for the ball always, exactly how we want to do it. Get our shoulders back turned around quickly. And we're good. So that's our split releases that we do every day. Our second level release. Concept of this. Sink first level release on this side. You're going to catch a ball. I want you to first level release, stack back on top. Second level release, doesn't matter what we do. And we're finishing out, and then we just rotate in a circle here. So this is a good drill for us to see this first level release, getting back out, getting the ball. Now I'm going to get this first level release. Now I got to get back on top. I got a safety that's rolling over the top. Now I got to give him a second level release, and then I'm going to stack back on top again, holding this red line that we got right here. Over here, we're going to hold this yellow line. So we'll go through it. So he's tight to the bag, reducing our shoulders. He's a little more square than I'd like it. We can see his shoulders are on an angle. I love this. He is a little wide, but I love the shoulder angle on that there. So he's getting back on his line. We're going to hold this line here. If he reduced that surface area more, he probably wouldn't knock this over. He's giving me another release here. Great shoulders on it. Stepping around the bag. Getting back on the line. Excellent rep here. Love to see that. Here it is, full speed. And we're back on our line. Here's another one. This kid's a freshman. Very good player. Going to have a great career. True freshman this year. Gives him something. Gives him a couple B steps there. Now we're back on our line. We can look at his shoulders over here. Knifing through with this arm. We're going to knife through that DB. Knife through him. Gave him just a little bit of his shoulder. Didn't give him his chest at all. Excellent rep. much better from him over here. Gave him just the shoulder. Excellent. We're knifing through with this arm. Give him this knife arm. He's giving the same thing. Knife through with the other arm. Excellent rep. Excellent rep. We'll see him over here. Gives him a B step. Knife through with the arm. Excellent shoulder. Exactly what we want. He's a little wide. His step through is a little wide. How much distance he created. Good on the shoulder. So if we can get a little tighter to him so he can't feather off and get over top of us. Good job getting back on top and getting back around. Not a bad rep at all. So that's our second level releases mixed with the first level release so we can feel both things in the same drill. Blind spots, this is a huge thing for us. I love blind spots. So what I want to do is chase this back hip. So it might be that hip for him, that hip. I want to chase that back hip, make him spin in a circle so that he can lose track of us downfield. So I want to set him up one way, see him turning. If he's turning that way, his shoulders are opened up, I want to chase this back hip. So we're going to chase that back hip. Now he's turning this way. Now we'll chase his other hip. Make him lose him. We want to chase his back hip at all times. Chase his back hip at all times. This may be a thing where we can beat him one time and just stay. Or if he can flip his hips, the DB flips his head around fast enough, we may have to get in his other blind spot and chase his other hip. This is a really good rep here. We want to always chase the back hip. Always chase the back hip on these reps. Not bad. I'd like to see him get into him a little bit more. Has him turned. Now we have him turned. Now let's just find his blind spot, get in his back hip, get as tight to his hip as possible. If we have too much distance, it's going to allow him to just roll over top of it. If I'm tight on his back hip, now I have to turn immediately, find you. All right, so we want to get tight to that back hip and chase those back hips. So those are our 3 releases that we do kind of every single day during practice, is just trying to get our first level release down, get our second level release down, and then find these guys blind spots that we can also use at the first level and at the second level as well. Okay, so hand fights. Always got to use our hands. We want to win with our feet, but have a plan for our hands. So win with your feet and have a plan for your hands. That's the big thing that I tell them. You're going to win these routes with your feet. All right, how fast you are, how quickly you can get off of things. You're going to stay consistently winning these routes if you use your hands as well. Okay, that's not only at the first level, but that's at the second level as well. If you use your hands throughout the entire process, you are going to continue to win routes. You may not always win at the release point, right? You may not always win at the release point, but at the top of the route, at that catch point, if I can create separation, all right, with my hands, that's what I want to do. Okay, so we work all of these as well during our EDD periods. So we're going to long arm them. So that's just a speed release, jab and go, knife. Okay, we're going to wiper them. That's what typically the DNs and things kind of use. We're going to mirror the guy, right? If he puts his hands up, he's trying to jam us. We're going to mirror him. We're going to wipe one direction or the other and get out. Okay, club and rip. I want to attack realistically what I want to do is try to attack the bicep or attack the elbow. So if I miss, I'm going to kind of hit that wrist. If I aim at the wrist and I miss, I'm never going to hit anything. So I want to aim at the bicep or the elbow, anticipating that my hands are going to kind of drop down to the wrist, and I want to push his entire arm in one direction. All right, I want to attack the elbow and go underneath him. I want to push up typically if I can club and rip him up so that I can slide and knife my other arm underneath him. That's what I want to do. The pull through, that's more of a a big man type of thing. If they're going to shoot one arm and I can grab that elbow and I can just pull them through, I can rip them down. That's what we do. Our bigger guys can do that as well. We can kind of push this together with the cage release. Here's the cage right here, the bully release. So those two can kind of go hand in hand. We can kind of use those all together. Our bigger guys use those. Your towel grab, that's your speed release. So that's just ripping. I'm dipping and slip, slicing my arm through, knifing my arm through, cutting down that surface area to go grab that towel. I'm not necessarily fighting with you, but right now what I'm doing is I'm knifing my arm down through. I'm using my hands to kind of get as low to the ground as I can so that I can grab that imaginary towel so that I'm reducing that surface area when I speed release. Down the field hand fighting. If his hand's on my hip, I'm going to swipe and push. All right, it's going to come right when I'm running, just how I would run. I'm taking my hand from my holster to my face. That's how I run. That's the same thing I'm going to do. Nothing's going to change. His hand's on my hip. Just when I go down now to my holster, I'm pushing his hand off. So I'm pushing his hand off. I'm swiping and pushing, and then I'm going to continue running. It's not going to stop me or stop my momentum from running. If his hand's on my shoulder, I'm going to swat and stiff. So I'm thinking I got a bug in my ear, I got a bee by my head, I'm swatting as I'm running, and then I can continue running full speed there. Hand on the in-breaking route. So if I want to go inside, and I'll show you in the next clip, I'm going to essentially throw by, swing, push on that back hip so I can push that guy in the opposite direction than where I want to go. Okay, so our top of the route hands, what I want to do on this, I want him leaning. Defensive guy, offensive guy. I want him leaning on him to create some type of friction at that top of the route here. Okay, so we're going to lean on him, leaning. Now we're looking at this backhand right here. We're going to get that right here, and we're going to continue to push this guy this way while we come down this way. Push him in the opposite direction from where I want to go. Push him in the opposite direction from where I want to go. Down, and I'm out. I would like that to be more violent. I really want to see him stumble. I want to see him fly out this way. So we got this hand here. That's what I want to do. Push, and then rip through, knife through with this hand and explode out in the direction that I want to go. Okay, so not a bad rep. More violent on the hands I would like, but not a bad rep. So we're going to watch him up here. He's leaning into him. That's not bad at all. Getting our full body into it, both arms into it. Even gave him the extra push with the opposite arm, which I love. At the top of the route there. Coming back downhill. Push him in the opposite direction from where we want to go. Watch him here. This is a good clip here. This guy's in front of him. That's fine. That's going to happen. I don't want to slow down. What I want to do is lean into him now, make him feel me so that it's easier for me to throw by. I don't want to slow down and throttle down and then try to throw him by. I'm just going to lean into him so he can feel me, get him off balance. Naturally, that's going to slow me down so that I can throw him by as well. Okay, not a bad rep. That one we need some more teaching on. But we can see the different levels that we have as far as top of the route hands. Okay. Break points. So every route has a break point. Even vertical routes, all of it. Everything has a break point. You got your drop, break, and drive and line. Okay. So everything has a break point. Your lower body. So your drop, that's going to be your hitches, your stops, your whips. Your things where you're stopping on a dime to go a different direction, whether that's down, out, inside, wherever. Okay, that's your drop. Okay, your lower body also has a speed cut. That's where I'm rolling off of that foot. That's my quick outs, my quick ins, my speed cutting digs, my backside digs. That's my lower body speed cut. Okay, my lower body also has verticals. That's your go route. So you have three things for your lower body. That's your drop, your speed cut, and your verticals, or your drop, speed, vertical. Those are the three you have for your lower body. We'll talk about all those as well. Your upper body, you have two things. Okay, we have two arms, so we have two different types of upper body motions. We have a force arm. That's the arm in the direction that your route is headed. That's your power arm. Okay, then I have my balance arm. That's the arm in the opposite direction of the route break. That stops me from drifting. So if I'm on a dig route going in to my left-hand side, my left arm is my force arm. That's the arm in the direction that the route is headed. That's my power arm. That's the arm I'm going to use to drive myself in that direction. My balance arm in that case, if I'm cutting to the left, would be my right arm. Okay, that's the arm that's going to stop me from drifting. If that arm is too high, if that arm is loose, I'm going to drift on my route. I may not break this route at 89 to 90 degrees. I may break this route at 93 degrees. I may break this route at 95 degrees. That may not seem like a lot, but it is when we're playing elite DBs and they can undercut the ball. Okay, so my arm, my balance arm, needs to be tight to my body, and it needs to be almost stuck right here to my side, so that I'm not drifting, so that my arm isn't floppy, so that it's not going every which way in direction. Okay, so I have a force arm and a balance arm. Okay, my force arm is my drive arm. That's where I'm headed. My balance arm is my opposite arm. That's going to stop me from drifting on my routes. Okay, so that's your upper body and your lower body. So for my drops, so my hitches, my things like that, all right, my drop point. On a hitch, typically our hitches are at 6 yards. Okay, we get our hitches at 6 yards. That's typically going to be your second step with your inside foot after your release. So your drop point on a hitch route, typically, depending on who you are, is the second step with the inside foot after you release. So that's going to probably be at around 6 yards. Okay, your shoulders should be at a 45-degree angle when you drop your weight. And your shoulders should never, ever be ahead of your toes. So my shoulders should be at a 45 when I drop, and my shoulders shouldn't leave or go above my toes. Okay, so that's my hitch drop, my whip drop, my any type of sudden change drop. Okay, my sudden change break point. My speed cuts, typically it is, and again, depends on your yardage, depends on who you are. Your speed cut is typically the third step with your inside foot. It's going to be anywhere from 6 to 8 yards after release. Okay? Your outside foot is your drive foot in that case. All right? So whatever the outside foot, if I'm going to the left, it's my left. If I'm going to the right, it's my right. That is my drive foot, just like you have a drive arm. Okay? Your drive foot should never, ever cross the midline of your body. If my drive foot crosses the midline of my body, so if I'm cutting out to the right, just like this picture has here, if I'm going out to the right and my drive foot goes this way, crosses the midline of my body, I am going to drift, and I am going to drift hard. I'm going to stumble off of my drive line. Okay, so my drive foot, depending on where you're going, should never, ever cross the midline of my body. All right, your dropper, your break point on speed, ins, digs, innies, access routes, whatever you guys, your terminology you guys use, is the third step with your outside foot after release, just like the top here. Your inside foot is the drive foot. Okay, so these are all for outs. My drive foot is my outside foot. These are all for ins, in breaking routes. It's my inside foot. Same concept. My drive foot should not ever cross my midline. All right, should not ever cross my midline. My head is the last thing to come around. I got to get my hips around. I got to get my shoulders around. I got to get my feet around. If I have my drive line or my drive foot not cross my midline, I'm going to be perfect. My head's going to snap around. That's going to be the last thing that snaps around, and I'm going to be ready for that ball. Worst thing that can happen is bring my head around too fast and I start to drift because I'm looking at somewhere else. I start to drift. My head goes a certain way. My drive foot is going across my midline. That's the worst thing that could happen in that sense, okay? Last one we got is a vertical. Even on vertical routes, we have breakpoints. So you have steps to a vertical route. It's not just running straight. It looks like we're just running straight. It's not just running straight. So you have your release. You have to win at the line. Have to win at the line. That's the make or break thing on vertical routes. Do I get a clean release? Am I off? Can we just throw the ball up to me? I have to win at the line. My next step, my next outside step after release, that's the step that's going to propel me forward. That's my vertical express step. So my next outside step after I release, that's the one that's going to propel me forward. That's where my weight comes off of. That's where my power comes off of. That's my vertical express step. Next, we have the fight. That's hand fighting down the field. That's all the hand fighting stuff that we talked about. My inside arm's pumping. I'm avoiding the DB's hands. I'm swatting. I'm leaning. I'm trying to stack back on top. That's the fight. Okay. Next one we have is hold the line. Now I've stacked them again. All right. Stacked them. Now I'm trying to stem them. Now I have to hold this red line. I got to hold the red line. I got to hold whatever line it is that I'm going after. That's what I have to hold. Next is the chin. I'm going to look for the ball with my chin, not my shoulders. If I'm running down the field, I don't want to turn my entire shoulders back to look at the quarterback to try to find the ball. That's going to slow me down. It's going to get me off my line. What I can do is look up and back with my chin and not look with my shoulders. I should look and try to find the ball with my chin so that I can track it with my chin while I'm running straight in that straight line, holding that line, full speed, vertical down the field. Last is eyes. Last is eyes. I'm going to catch the ball between my eyes, not let the ball go on the outside of my outside eye. If I let the ball go on the outside of my outside eye, I'm going to lose the ball. I'm going to go out of bounds. I'm not going to catch the ball. But if the ball starts to widen me and I start to widen with the ball and I keep that ball on the inside eye, I keep it right between my eyes, I'm going to have an easier time catching that ball down the field. So those are your steps and your break points. Your technical break point in this is going to be your vertical express step, that second step that propels you forward so that I can hold the line on vertical routes. Stack and stem drill I like to do. We have until we start here at this line here. We have until this line to stack back on top. And then we have a white line behind this that we need to be at full speed by the time we get to that white line. So we'll watch some of these. So I want to lean into them. Doing a good job fighting, leaning into them. Doing a good job fighting, leaning into them. So now I'm back on my line, get them on my back hip, and I can go chase the ball. Not a bad rep. Really good rep by this guy here on this one. Using everything that we've had to this point as far as reducing surface area, getting back on top. He does that. He moves the shoulders. It's a really good rep by this guy here. He's swatting. He's fighting. He's leaning into him. He's reducing that shoulder so I can't get full hands on him. He dives, knifes that arm back on top. And we get back on top. It's a really good rep by him. We stack and stem. We do these every day. But I want to make it intentional that I need to get back on top and get these guys' arms off me, get them from holding me so I can get back on top. So that's our stack and stem. These aren't a true vertical, but we can look. This would be his express step. If this was his release to try to propel him forward, that's what's going to give us all the power. If you don't block, you don't get the rock. So our blocking progression, we do the ABCDs of blocking. Align, so align him, line him up. All right, we're going to break down. Contact, that's bringing the contact to them, not catching. and then we're going to drive. All right, we don't want to overextend our arms. If we have trouble blocking, sometimes we'll do either 2 hands on the breastplate, 1 hand on the breastplate, 1 hand on the hip, depending on how big the guy is, to try to turn him or where we want to go with it. But we'll do these every single day as far as trying to get these guys to block. So it's our drive line. This is one of the drills we like to do. I like to start engaged. We're going to drive them straight back. I'm going to tell them left or right. Now we have to push-pull this guy left or right, put our head across his body, put our entire body into him so that we can drive him in a direction that we want to go. So we're going to drive. We're not overextended. We're in here tight. We're a little far on this. We're good here. Driving them. We're going to go a certain direction. Now I want to turn him to the left here. Pull with this hand, push with the other one. Pushing him there. Now I'm going to tell him to go the other direction. Now we're going to push-pull the other direction as well. We're already kind of tight. They're already kind of loose here, both guys. We're going to drive. Good drives, though. He brought it tighter. It's a very good angle. We're a little loose here. Have more control if we're tight in here like this versus being loose out here. That's how we get holding on the perimeter. We can see here, really good rep. Want to go to the left. I'm putting my head across his body so that my full body goes across, so that he has to go through my entire body instead of just an arm. We want to go the other direction. He's going to twist his head back across his body so that we're driving, making him go through my entire body instead of just an arm. So really good rep there by a true freshman doing this. Would like him to bring his hips a little bit more so that we're not lunging, but not a bad rep at all. We do these every single day, working on blocking, and then we will go hit the sled almost every other day just so that we can get used to hitting and moving some weight as well. Point push, we're a big perimeter team. We want to get the ball in the perimeter really fast. We think we have the best athletes on the team. We think that we have the best athletes in the conference. So we want to get the ball in the perimeter really, really fast. So what we do is have an algorithm, a triangle, a point man, an alley man, and a push peel guy at the top. So who are you going to run away from? So in this drill, we got 3 guys that line up right here, and then I have a defender here, and then a quote-unquote free safety back up top that's off the ball. He's going to come unblocked every time. That is your push peel guy, okay? So an easy way to do, I'll draw it up here, is this. So we got our push peel guy, we got our alley guy, and we have our point man. Whenever we do these things, if I'm the receiver here and I catch a key or I catch a bubble, I want to push this point here. Push him at all costs. I don't care if I get 6 yards and run out of bounds. This is going to be the out of bounds here. I don't care if I catch 6 yards and run out of bounds. I want to push this guy. He's going to set the alley. He's going to find something. We're not blocking this guy, so we need to run away from him. I want to push at this guy. This is going to be my lead blocker. So I want to push the point every single time that I'm working on the perimeter. Okay, so I want to push the point, and that's what this drill is. All right, so what they're going to do, we're going to throw the ball to him. So now he's got to go, he's going to be your point man. He's got to go find somebody to block. He's going to be your alley man. He's got to go find somebody to block. So what I want this guy to do is push the point. So that's that guy here. So that's where the point is. Out of bounds is over here. This is your point. I want to press the point. Now we just need to read the block. Works for me. Pushing him outside. This is your free guy that we're not going to block. We got to run from him. We have to make him miss. It's our job to mom it. Make one man miss. Push the point. Make him miss. Go out of bounds. Protect yourself. Live to fight another day. We'll get 6 yards and we'll keep moving. So now we got a little bit different now. We like to mix it up so that we're all seeing it from different angles here. So now our middle guy gets it. Point guy out of bounds is still over here. Point guy, alley guy. We want to push this point every time. Very good job of pushing the point, setting it up inside, pushing the point. We'll just get out of bounds. This is the guy that we have to run from. Very good rep on this one. Last one on here. Throw it to the front guy, point guy, alley guy, push the point. Sets it up inside, push the point. Run from this guy here. Would like to see this guy be able to turn this guy inside, but it works. If we were to go inside on this, we go inside and then push it back outside towards the sideline. We're not the biggest guys. We want to get yards. We don't need to run people over. So we'll get yards, push the sideline. Middle of the field comp drill. I love doing these. The guys like them. We put up downs on the line for it. We put hills on the line for it. But it's them competing. Whole concept of it. Stay low going through the chutes. I'm coming to the middle of the field. I need to box this guy out. He does a very good job of boxing him out. Getting him on your back, boxing him out, catching the ball in front of you. That's what I want to do. That's the whole concept of the drill. Come through the middle, boxing him out. Nobody knows. I'm throwing the ball in the middle of the field. Nobody knows who's going to get the ball. You have to make it there first. You need to stay low coming out of the chutes, and then you need to box the guy out. Another good one coming up here. Box him out, cuts him off, uses our angles. I do like this. It's like hands at the top. All right. I do like to stress during this drill not to touch it, just to come out of it. But I do like the concept of him trying to put his hands at the top of the route. That's what we do practice. Coming out, angles, knowing this guy's coming here. Now I need to take this angle a little more direct versus coming this way. Very good job of knowing what angles I need to use. Catching the ball, tucking it away. Really good rep on that. Okay, very good reps. From here, I'll show you a rep that's not so good now. I want to come through and attack the ball. I want the ball. I want to catch it. I don't want to play defense. Now we're just coming through and playing defense. Not a super big fan of playing defense on the route. This is the thing that I talked about on the last rep. If we're coming out of this and it's close, I need to cut him off, use my body instead of going this way so that he can come through and make a play on the ball. Same thing for him. If I know I need to cut him off, I need to cut him off now and get him on my back shoulder. All right, so that's our middle of the field comp drill. We do that every day. It's a really good rep for us, really good drill. Guys like it. So we do those just to get used to competing, just to get used to catching the ball with somebody on our back as well. So that's the presentation. That's the drills that we do every day. That's kind of our basic EDD type of thing, so that we can translate those to the field. This is my contact info. If you guys need anything, you guys want to clinic more, any questions about anything, everything's on here. More than happy to talk to anybody anytime about it. I appreciate it. Go Saints. This is Coach McGowan. Appreciate you.